If you're fixing battery terminals, this is how you should be fixing them. Not just clamping them onto the ends of universal battery terminals. I'm going to show you how we do it. Just kind of pull it out of here so we can get a little bit more close up. And then we have heat shrink, heat seal. Has a glue on it, shrinks and actually seals the repair, so no moisture is going to get in there and kind of try to prevent corrosion. If the terminals aren't clean, like you see in this one, if terminals aren't clean, you're going to want to clean them. Make sure that it's not a bunch of corrosion. What you do is basically try to preheat the cable. Just to make the process go a little faster. What we're using is basically a butane torch. And we're going to heat it. Get it nice and hot. Obviously be aware of your surroundings. You don't want to catch anything on fire. Flame gets pretty hot on the butane torch, so anything behind it you have to be careful of too. It's nice and hot. This is also going to help burn off any contaminants that are on there as well. You can actually hear some contaminants crackling. You don't want to get the wire too hot though, because then your heat shrink will end up shrinking where you don't want it. And what we'll do now is stand this up so you can see it. Actually, look at we actually got a pretty good holder here. Boom. So now what we'll do, rosin core, flux wire. Now we can heat up the outside of our terminal end. And the goal is to get both the wire and the terminal end just as hot as each other. That way there that the flux core wire can actually soak up into the wire. If you don't heat it long enough, you'll end up with the solder sitting in the connector, but not actually soaking into the voids of the cable, which is a poor connection and leaves more room for contaminants and moisture to get in and corrosion, and then you end up with a repair that's just as bad as clamping them on a universal battery terminal. And we'll test it every couple minutes, and we'll try to kind of poke it on the wire and see if it melts off the wire. And sometimes you actually, what I like to do is you can fill the inside of the spade terminal with our solder and then watch it. All of a sudden you'll notice the solder level actually drop, and it's because the wire has started to soak up the solder. And then I go ahead and I fill it until it's just coming up over the edge, and boom, done. Soaked into the wire, spade terminal is full, 100% connection to each other. And then what we'll do now is feed this down over. And you'll see I'm using vice grips on the end, flat, and what that's going to do is help prevent the solder to go down into the spade where it bolts to the universal terminal. If it does go down to there, then you have to clean it off. It's kind of a pain in the ass. And it also gives me a point for my heat seal to stop and hit, so that it doesn't go too far and get in the way of bolting it down as well. And you're going to want to heat up your heat seal evenly. It's going to shrink, and you'll see some glue come out of the edges, and it is now sealed. So we have a solder joint that's also sealed as well too. I hope you could see it well enough. And after we'll show you how we bolt it to the battery with the universal terminals, but still make it look factory fresh. They should look like, if you're going to use these, they should look like this. This one has 2 batteries.